How do you think the Drake Maye plan is going so far? It's hard to really know, but we know that he's getting the extra reps. We know that they're treating him differently from most backups here. How would you grade its progress so far, Andy?
I mean, I don't know what you could really base that on. Incomplete, not applicable, whatever. But I will say you gave your backup 30% of the reps, which is more than normal, the head coach admits, and you won the football game. So did the offense look out of sorts? Did Jacoby Brissett look ill-prepared? I would say no. If there was an ill-prepared nature to it, it was Alex Van Pelt admitting there were some things he wanted on his play sheet that he didn't have that he was going to fix this week. But I don't know that has anything to do with the plan for Drake Maye. The one thing that just jumped out to me, because we talked about this, Evan Washburn had this report, it became clear, and then in addition to this, the way they're treating him when he's the scout team quarterback, not telling him what the defense is doing. He's not just showing a play, he's actually competing on a play on scout team. So I go back to this all the time because this is my point of reference, is the original Bledsoe-Brady when Bill said, for the foreseeable future, Tom Brady's the quarterback because you can't get two quarterbacks ready. We did a disservice to Tom Brady when he lost to the Rams, right? Remember that?
Yes.
In 2001. Well, you probably might not remember it, but you've heard of it, the quotes. I don't know how closely you followed it at the time, but that makes me think that week when they did a disservice to Tom Brady, the starter, I wonder how many reps Drew Bledsoe got. For comparison, did he get 30% of the reps? Was it a 50-50 split? Was it 60-40? I can't imagine it was 50-50. So let's say it's at least 60-40.
That would have been in the dynasty if it was 50-50, I think.
Right. So it's getting closer to the 70-30 you're giving, and we're saying, well, the passing game, I wonder if it can do its job if it needs to. Well, I don't know. Is it getting the reps it needs to prepare for Jacoby Brissett? And do you care? Because the answer might be I don't care. We're trying to like appease two goals here at the same time. But the next thing that I thought of is, well, if that guy's the better player, because you said that, if that guy is getting a decent amount of reps and we know he's the better passer, when do we start to see maybe opportunities for packages or Drake Maye coming in late in game? Because he's not ill-prepared.
Right.
He's getting 30% of he's getting a third of the reps.
It's also not like Jacoby Brissett is Lamar or Taysom Hill or somebody who you got running around out there, who that's his main thing, and then you bring Drake Maye in the pat. Like, it's not... You know what I mean? Like, you'd be bringing in a quarterback to do what the first quarterback's doing, just better. That's all it would really be.
So I just wonder, the 30%, does that leave the door open for sooner rather than later not starting Drake Maye, but could we see spurts of Drake Maye, packages, situations? I don't know why you're making that face.
I didn't say a word.
You turn everything into...
I didn't say spurts of Drake Maye. That was you, Andy. That was not me, all right? So don't blame me for that.
Spurts of Drake Maye's play, not spurts from Drake Maye.
Whatever.
Spurts of his play.
You should make that clear next time.
Okay. Do you agree? Do you like 30% of the reps? Is that enough to start thinking about, well, this guy's kind of ready for some of the plays. He's getting enough reps in practice that he could be ready, and I don't even know how those are divvied up. Maybe he's getting 30% reps in the passing portion of practice, more so than just handing off to Ramondre Stevenson. This intrigues me.
It intrigues me, too. I don't think that they're going to start suddenly giving him, the ball's on the 35-yard line and they bring in a package for Drake Maye. Like, I would imagine that it's going to start in blowouts, maybe. Like they're up... let's hope here that they're up a lot at the end of the game.
You meant them blowing somebody out?
Or getting blown out either way. I mean, we saw Tyrod Taylor in that Jets game, so we might see something like that. I doubt they're going to be blowing people out this year, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. At any rate, I'd imagine before you see him in a package like that, you'd see him in garbage time, right? Like that's generally when the backup gets their first taste of the big leagues outside of injuries or other things like that. So that's sort of what I imagine. But the backup
doesn't usually get the reps to be prepared.
That's true.
So you should feel better about your backup being ready to go, and your backup has different skills than your starter, has different ability, has different.
Agreed.
So I just wonder if that seeps its way almost just naturally. Let's just say Jacoby Brissett still wins this week, and they go 2-0. But you're seeing on the practice field, Drake Maye looks pretty good. He looks pretty comfortable. Boy, he does make some throws that really make you realize why we took him with the number 3 overall pick in the draft. He doesn't look overwhelmed by any of this. He's prepared for 2 weeks. Why don't we put him in there?
I mean,
why don't we give him a series?
You're singing my song right now, Andy, but the question is, if they keep winning, do they keep giving him these reps? Like if Jacoby Brissett is able to go out there and win games with this team, And they know that they're going to have to eventually expand the passing game. Let's assume they win similar to how they won in week 1 this week, if they even win at all, which I don't think they will, but just hypothetically here. Then do you continue do you continue down this road, or
Yes.
do you eventually say, okay, we're better than we thought we were. We're sticking with Brissett, and we need to start giving him all the reps now because this is what our offense is going to be.
So everybody's worried about stunting the growth of Drake Maye. That's why you couldn't play him, because the offensive line stinks. And
They're not that worried about it. I mean, they're actively doing it.
No. But I'm saying everybody didn't want to play him because they thought it could stunt his growth if he wasn't ready.
Right.
You don't think it would stunt his growth if you give him 30% of the reps in the first 3 weeks of practice and then decide, oh, by the way, now you're going back to 5% of the reps? That stunts his growth.
It might, but if you're considering a playoff run here, if that's something that they consider to be actively on the table, then that's a consideration you have to make.
Are
I
pigs
think
flying out of his bum too?
maybe. I don't know.
Because I mean, we're considering a playoff run now.
Yeah, we are considering a playoff run. The
It's
Dolphins
week
just
1.
lost their quarterback, and the Jets may not be anything. I mean, this is the way they have to start thinking about these things. If they go to 3-0. Right? If they go to 3-0, they have to start
They're not
considering.
2-0 yet.
I know, Andy. I'm saying
That was a
hypothetically.
quick jump to 3.
I'm saying
Holy crap.
hypothetically, if they get to 3-0, I don't think they're going to even win this weekend. But hypothetically, if they do, that's the way they have to start thinking about it, right? I mean, you can't tell me that a 3-0 team is going to be really that much more concerned about their backup quarterback. They have to start thinking about winning games going forward, not about developing their backup. That's not what the priority should be at that point. I don't think.
Yeah. You ever hear it, ain't broke, don't fix it? If I'm 3-0, why am I going to change things? And I just beat the Jets, a good defense with a good offense, so I made enough plays against that team. Why would I change it?
Because you want Jacoby Brissett to be out there getting the lion's share of the reps. This is something you were doing for the benefit of Drake Maye. Wouldn't you want to benefit now the guy who's proven he can win as a starter? I think that makes more sense, doesn't it?
No, I don't think it does, because they've gone this far, and they think Jacoby Brissett is capable of handling 70% of the reps. They also know that. So if he gets another 10% of the reps, how much better does Jacoby Brissett get? He's frickin' year 9. We know what he is. We know what the ceiling is. We know what the floor is. We know he is who he is. A few more reps on the practice field.
So
against
why
the
give him
scout
any
team?
reps at all then, Andy, if you know what he is? I mean, that's what you do.
Gotta
You go
get
out
him
and
ready,
practice, right? Yes.
Because you got to run the plays that. Do you think he's not getting a chance to run plays? Like was he out there at any point this week against the Bengals and he's like, you just called what? I never ran that in practice.
Don't you want to maximize what he's doing in his preparation then if you know he's going to be the starter going forward and you have no intention of taking him out now? I mean, I know you don't.
You're asking me.
They do. They've said that's what their plan is.
No, they have said that their plan. What did you
is
notice?
To start
the word,
Jacoby Brissett.
Did you notice the word that Gerard Mayo used for the quarterback? Where he is?
He uses lots of words. You're going to have to be more specific.
When you have a quarterback in the wings, what's that called? Waiting in the wings. Like there's an implication there that guy is right. It's like he's looking at the stage from behind the curtain, waiting for his cue to come on stage. He's not in the green room. He's not with his feet up in the back. He's ready. He's waiting in the wings. That's the phrase Gerard Mayo chose to use. He's in the wings. Correct?
Yeah, that's what that means.
So they want him to play. Their development plan, whatever it is, and we've learned it. Week 1 of the preseason, it was he gets one series and then he's out of there. I don't care that there's an opportunity to get reps. Nope, we got a plan. And now we've learned week 1 of the regular season, it's get 30% of their practice reps, while Jacoby Brissett gets 70%, right? So they seem to have a definitive plan, and that plan has him in the wings. So why would you ever pull that?
You know, in the wings.
In the wings. In the wings.
Sure.
Listen, I listen to words. Words have meanings. That
I
is
watch
a phrase.
Games and results have meanings too, Andy. And if they go 3-0, then they're going to have to start and stop thinking about
3-0,
a different way of going about this. I think.
See, I don't understand they're not going 3-0. Like there is no shot in hell.
I don't think they are either. I'm saying
there is.
We're
no
talking
shot.
about if the hypothetical if Brissett is successful, if they continue.
Then
to
why
win
would you change
with
it
Jacoby
if he's
Brissett.
successful? He just beat the Jets on Thursday Night Football in a short week, and you're like, you know what we need to do? Change everything we're doing? Why would you change it?
We
He's
should
being
give him more
successful.
reps. We should try and expand the offense. We should try and continue to evolve as an offense. Of course you want to evolve as an offense. Why would you stop and try and stunt? Now you're stunting
Who said
Jacoby
we're not
Brissett.
evolving as an offense?
I
Week
think you
2
would
is
be
better
if you're
than
not
week 1.
giving him the full package of reps that you would give to a starter.
We already
your
know
starter.
for a fact they've evolved as an offense because they've added the plays that Alex Van Pelt didn't have at his disposal.
Well, we don't know
last
that.
week.
We haven't seen him actually do it yet. But we'll see. We'll
He
see
added
if they
them.
do.
He added something. He said he wrote something on his call sheet. He's got a deeper call sheet this week, so they've evolved. And you naturally evolve as an offense through the course of a season, right? Because every play you ran in week 1 is now in your game plan, is available. Every play you run in week 2, which is a different game plan for Seattle than Bengals, is at your disposal. Week 3, you beat the Jets on a short week. That's at your disposal. You're building up a cache of plays to pull from, of experiences to pull from, as opportunities, game plans to pull from. And if it's working to the tune of 3-0 in your weird hypothetical world that has no shot of coming to fruition, I'm just saying that there is no shot. Zero.
All right, I don't think they're going to either. We're talking about a hypothetical. If they continue to be successful and they surprise people and they do that with Jacoby Brissett as a starting quarterback, that stands to reason then that he's going to say, "Hey, guys, let's get me doing the full-time starter thing here," and I think he'd have a right to say that.
He'd have a right to say that?
Of course
After
he would.
Week 1, he barely has a right to keep the job, in my opinion.
Well,
he made some good decisions, but he didn't really do anything.
He didn't really do much. You're right about that. And there's a lot of other quarterbacks in the league you can say that about, including guys who won their first week too, and guys who are considered much, much better than Jacoby Brissett. But
none of them have the number 3 pick behind him.
That's
Nobody,
true.
because all the other good quarterbacks are playing.
Right. Well, they're not playing all that well, but they are playing.